What's up, psychos, and welcome to day 4 of 30 days of book recs. Today we're keeping it with the super dark and polyamorous vibes. We're going to be talking about Deathtrap. Now, this is a self-rec, so if you're one of the people that I know don't love self-recs by authors, maybe skip this video and I'll see you here next time. But for those of you that are dark and twisted AF and want to read a book about a woman who is stalked by the Grim Reaper, he literally unalives everybody that she touches, stick around. I put on my cute little spooky season cardigan for this one because honestly, this is an excellent spooky season read. As I just said, the premise is our FMC Lilith, everybody she touches dies. She's followed around her entire life by the Grim Reaper and he will not let her get close to anybody. Also worth mentioning, you can get this Black Page edition on Amazon. It's literally right on there. You can go grab it yourself. So if you like to collect books with fun, unique aspects to them, this is available. But like all of my books, it's also available on Kindle Unlimited. Now, this is a pitch black romance. This is very, very, very dark. This is the darkest book, I would say, in my entire backlist for several reasons. We've got bullying, like extreme bullying. We've got kidnapping. We've got captor-captive. We've got a lot of non-con. In my author's note, I'm pretty clear about it. Like, there's no consensual spice, basically, until at least, like, halfway through the book. And even then, she's pretty Stockholmed, so can't really call it consent. So if any of that triggers you, do not read this book. Outside of that, the religious themes in this book, I did not freaking hold back. If you are in any way a religious person, tread with caution. I would never recommend this book to a practicing Catholic or Christian. I personally have a lot of religious trauma, and this is a bit of a trauma dump for me. So just keep that in mind. Maybe just skip this one if you are religious. Like, there is straight up blasphemy in here. When the author is literally telling you, like, be careful, like, don't read this book, like, you know it's messed up. Anyway, with that out of the way, for those of you who still want to read this, the main couple in this is MF, but there is sharing. I struggle so much to explain the relationship dynamics in this because yes, they share with a friend of their couple within their circle, but he is not technically part of their romantic relationship. He just joins in sometimes and that's it. So I don't know if you have like monogamy triggers, like it's written in such a way that it's very clear that the FMC and the MMC are a couple, but they just have like an open sharing relationship, I guess, with very exclusive other people. Like it's not with everybody, it's with this one specific person and then later somebody else. And at the end, there is a poly scene where it is MFMM, is how I would describe it. Now, this is a paranormal romance, like obviously because of the Grim Reaper aspects, but halfway through this book, like we start this book in our world. Basically, Lilith is working at this restaurant called Voodoo. Everybody that she's ever gotten close to and touched in her life is killed by this like demon that's been following her around since she was a child. And she finally, when she turns 18, she's able to move out of the foster system and she isolates herself, right? Because she doesn't want anybody to get hurt. And she gets a job at this restaurant called Voodoo where he leaves her alone for 4 years while she's working there. She does her best not to make any friends. She tries not to touch anybody. She's just there to work and bartend and do her freaking job and just basically make enough to afford rent in her little studio apartment. Pretty early on in the beginning of the book, she slips up and she hugs another coworker, and yeah. The next day, coworker does not show up for work and Lilith suspects that he is back. This book does not stay in this world. It is a paranormal romance, so keep that in mind if you're expecting it to all be based in a urban setting. That is not the case. It gets borders on fantasy when we get in there, but I don't really like to call it fantasy because I'm playing with like a lot of religious themes. God is the villain in this book. So again, I'm like towing the line here because like I don't want to give too much away, but I also want you to know what you're getting into. So I think I'm gonna leave it here. This is the first in an interconnected duet. You can kind of see the next one. I'll talk about it tomorrow. And the duet is Hellcat, and that one is a dark paranormal MM romance with sharing. So it's kind of like the MF with sharing, but like in reverse. And that's also a great spooky season read as well too. So I'm not sure when I'm gonna have this video up, but if you're looking for a spooky season rec, these guys are perfect for it. And there's also a tiny novella. It's not even a novella. It's like a novelette. I think it's like 10 chapters and it's a little Christmas interlude. I'd call it like 1.5, which sets up Hellcat. Like I said, you don't have to read this. You don't have to read Krampus for Christmas before you read Hellcat to understand Hellcat, but it is recommended because there's so much like lore in this book that you would be missing out on if you didn't. But again, like you'd be able to read that no problem and understand what's going on if you didn't want to commit to reading this as well too. Anyway, thank you so much for coming and listening listening to me ramble. If you wanted to give me some like pitch black paranormal recs, I freaking love paranormal books and I like it as like dark as freaking possible. So if you have any pitch black paranormal dark romance recs that you think I should check out and read, please drop them in the comments and let me know. Anyways, I love you, stay weird, and I'll see you tomorrow.